Yogyakarta, and I will be the moderator for this webinar. And then this webinar will consist of two sessions. The first one is expert or main sessions. And then the second sessions will be more about sharing sessions. So there will be two students that will share their experience in having a student exchange. And then before we jump into the main sessions, let's hear some opening remarks from the Vice Rector 3 of Universitas Atmajaya Yogyakarta, Pak Pupung Arifin. For Pak Pupung Arifin, the stage is yours. Good morning, Pak Pupung.
Okay, good morning. Good morning, Pak Tegar. Can you hear my voice?
Very well.
Okay, yeah, thank you. So, yeah, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Warm welcome to each and every one of you for being here today virtually to attend second series webinar that held by International Class of Faculty of Business and Economic University Atmajaya Yogyakarta. And I wish all of you in a good health. It is such an honor for me to open this event on behalf of UAJY's rector. I am especially honored to welcome the representative from its university's partners for taking time out of your busy schedule to attend this event. So especially for Dr. Muhammad Fazli
Thank you very much.
From UTM, Malaysia, and Dr. Aaron Loh from Assumption University, Thailand.
Thank you.
Both that will also as a speakers today, and all the students representative from both universities. I also would like to send my greetings to Ms. Mahestu Krisyanti as a faculty representative from OAJS that also will be our speakers today. And also, I wish to thank to Pak Budi as a Dean of Faculty of Business and Economic Universitas Atmajaya Yogyakarta. Also, Bu Nadia as International Class Coordinator, Pak Tegar, and all of the committee who have organized this exciting discussion or webinar. As we know that this global pandemic impacting very hard to economics aspect of global society. So only with us here in ASEAN also. So we need to fostering collective global leadership and regional collaboration in ASEAN to tackle COVID-19 pandemic, especially on economic aspect. So I hope this webinar will help us to addressing the importance of uniting ASEAN citizens, uniting families, and promoting measures to allow the economic to thrive in light of the protective measures given by health organization and national regulation during the COVID-19 pandemic. So I hope you enjoy the second series webinar. And so I will hand it over to Pak Tegar as MCs to proceed to the next agenda. Once again, welcome and thank you very much for attending this event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Pak Pupung, for the opening remark. Now I will read all the do and don'ts or the regulations that you have to follow for attending this webinar. Please share the screen of the do and don'ts. Okay, well, I would like to welcome you all that we have. First of all, before I actually read the do and don'ts or rules, and I would like to welcome you all once again. We have 170 uh, participants from both Malaysia and Indonesia. So thank you so much for joining and also engaging in this webinar. And then this is the rules. First of all, you have to actually fill the exit or attendance form. You can see the bit.ly uh, in the slide, and I will share also the bit.ly in the chat box, in the Zoom chat box. And also, please also make sure that your mic is actually on the mute during this webinar. So, okay, and then if you have any questions, just type it in the chat box. And then after that, put your name in there and also put to whom your question is directed to. And then the last one, the questions can be delivered in English or Indonesian. I will be the one who translate it. If you want to ask something in Indonesia, it's okay. just type. Don't be shy and just type it. Also follow the format. Your name, please put your name in there, and also put the name of the speakers that you want to ask the questions to. Okay, and then after that, let's not, without further ado, let's jump into the first sessions of expert sessions. We have three experts in here. The first one is Dr. Aaron Law from Assumption University. And then the second one is Dr. Mahestu from Universitas Atmajaya Yogyakarta. And the third one is from University Technical Malaysia, Malacca, Dr. Fazli. And then before I permit them to actually present all of the discussions that we will have, first of all, I would like to introduce them briefly, one by one, and they will present in this following order. Like what the gentleman will say, ladies first. So we will begin the presentations from Dr. Mahestu. Like I said before, Dr. Mahestu is the faculty member of FBE UAJY, and she has the expertise in marketing and international business, and she has also several internal publications in marketing and also consumer behavior. And then the second presenter is Dr. Fazli from University Technical Malaysia Melaka, and the area of expertise of Dr. Fazli is financial management and technology management, and he has received several grants in international or inter-country research. And then the last but not least, Dr. Aaron Law is a faculty member of Assumption University, Thailand. He has extensive experience in research, industry, and also academic work, but also he has a unique expertise because he is also has an expertise in chemistry. Okay, now let's move to the first speakers, first expert, Dr. Mahestu. Good morning, Dr. Mahestu.
Good morning. Thank you, Pak Tegar.
Okay, you may share your screen.
Okay.
And then the time is yours.
Can you see my slide?
Okay. Yes, we can.
Okay then. So first of all, I will say thank you to Bu Nadia that give me a chance to share a bit of my knowledge here. I'm not the expert here, so I have a bit of knowledge that I like to share, so we can discuss and all together we can improve our capability in the knowledge. So that's what I always believe. Okay, then I have 20. Sorry, what's going on with this one? I have no idea what's going on with the. Okay. Okay then. I have 20 minutes, right, Pak Tegar?
Yep.
Okay, I will try to make it less than 20 minutes if possible. Yeah. Okay then. Especially for the students, we experience quite unlucky situation at this moment. Some people say it is unlucky, but some people said this is a good time for us to improve ourselves and to improve the economy of the country. So in this opportunity, I want to ask you, my dear student, yeah, to see from both sides. It is better if we can see from the positive side, because anyway, COVID-19 will be with us forever. Some people say that after the vaccine, everything will be fine, go back to the previous one. No, I don't think so. Back to what happened in Indonesia and also in other country, back to 1960, I think, when there was big issue. There's not pandemic, but big issue at that moment in Indonesia, especially about the malaria. And then the Indonesian government at that time tried to solve the problem and then give the vaccine. But now we see we can live happily, peacefully with malaria. We have the vaccine, but malaria is still here with us. But everything is just fine. I think in the near future, we will also to make ourselves used to with COVID-19. So it is not the end of the world. How about with the economy? Let's try to go back to what happened in ASEAN. Yeah, ASEAN. There are 9 countries in ASEAN, but then today we will talk about 3 countries. Yeah, before COVID-19. ASEAN is one of the most rapidly developing, industrializing, and urbanizing parts of the world. So we have to be proud of Asian people, Asian community, because compared to other region, we are lucky enough that the economy of ASEAN region is one of the, I will say, one of the best. ASEAN economic growth was 5.1% back in 2018, compared to global economic growth is, I will say, only 3.7%. So I experience the comment of my student that usually they say that we are not lucky because we are in Asia. We should be in United States. We should be in European countries. And I'm not proud of to be Indonesian. Some of the students say that. Why? Because the economy in Indonesia is not good. Who said so? Who said so? In ASEAN, ASEAN is one of the area that have the quite high economic growth, even higher than global economic growth. Of course, it is driven by domestic demand and investment. Especially in Indonesia, I will talk more about Indonesia, and maybe Dr. Aaron Law and Dr. Mofasli will talk about Thailand and also Malaysia. So, especially in Indonesia, God bless us with so many population, so many people in Indonesia, and this is one of the asset of Indonesia. Some maybe say that it is not good. We have so many people in Indonesia. It is quite difficult for the government to manage us. So many people, that means so many will, that so many needs. That's not good. No, I always say I will see from the positive side. That's good. Yeah, one of the factors that trigger the ASEAN economic growth is domestic demand. How if we only have a bit of people? That's the good side of Asian region. Okay, then. There are so many nice story, good story in ASEAN before COVID-19. And we are very proud of that story, of the experiences. But then, after COVID-19 touched down the region, some people say, oh no, oh no. Even so many institutions or organizations, even IMF, predict that there will be problem, decreasing of economic growth in this region. Couple months ago, I discussed with some of students in Atmajaya, and they said, ma'am, do we will face the worst case scenario of COVID-19 due to the recession? I will say, okay, we have recession, but recession is not the end of the world. Even we are lucky because I'm quite sure Thailand, Malaysia, and Indonesia, although we face this kind of problem, but the decreasing of our economic growth is not that bad compared to other countries. I cannot say that it is good. I will say it is not good, but it is still better. We still have hope. We still have something to reach. Okay, yeah. COVID-19 mostly in ASEAN, yeah, in ASEAN mostly COVID-19 disrupt on tourism, supply chain, and labor supply. It is common in happen in many countries, including in ASEAN countries. Just go back to the data. Tourism sectors, tourism industry contributed 400 billion US dollar to ASEAN economy. After COVID-19 touched down the region, we experienced for the first time, even in my life, to see closing of port, closing of airport, closing of the border. What is the consequences? Of course, it will distract. It will, how to say? It will not give benefit to the tourism industry. There are so many problems. There are so many people lost their job in this industry. Even we also see from the media, from the newspaper, that there are many tourism business decided to close the business. Last week I I read in the newspaper that some of the pilot from big flight company, yeah, from the big one, lost their job, and then they prefer to work as in Indonesia we call as babang gojek in Indonesia. Work as the motorcycle rider for online I don't know what is in English, yeah, Gojek, Grab, and Uber. Oh, Uber is not there anymore. Yeah, they changed. Yeah, they changed. They said, I'm used to usually I ride. They said I ride. I drive aeroplane now. I drive motorcycle. That's similar. Okay, this is one of the consequences due to the COVID-19. And we know that China is a regional hub that contributes 12% of global trade in parts and component. For a couple months, if I'm not mistaken, China closed the border. Not only that one, but also they try to push the labor to work at home. And we understand some jobs we cannot do it at home, especially for the labor in the factory. What is the consequences? There is the problem in supply side. To make it worse, the supply side from the products in China, the product produced in China will affect many countries. Also, the countries in Asia, including Indonesia. At that time, in Indonesia, we didn't have issues of COVID-19 yet. But many companies in Indonesia, they could not buy, they could not import the part and the component from China. And we know that Indonesia, so many industries, so many factories in Indonesia depend on the parts and component for them to produce product in Indonesia from China. Why? This is easy, because there is the recommendation from the Chinese government to ask the labor to stay at home. It seemed that it is very simple, but it gave the big impact not only to China, but also to many industry in many countries. Okay, then this is the information about the the COVID-19 cases in Asian countries. At that time, I was very proud because Indonesia didn't have any issues, didn't have any cases in COVID-19. Some people said, actually, we have it. But government, they didn't notice whatever happened. But based on the data, the first case of COVID-19 in Indonesia started on March. But see what happened now. When at the same time, other Asian countries, they start to have the declining of the number of COVID-19 cases. In Indonesia, we haven't reached the peak. Yesterday, we got the record, 5,000 if I'm not mistaken. That was the first time. Hopefully for today, we don't get any record. That's good, yeah, that's good. 5,000, wow, 5,000. It is good. Why I said that's good? Because just like ring the bell, so many Indonesians just noticed that, okay, this is the good time for me. This is the best time for me to stay at home. Because like we know in Indonesia, it's very difficult to ask them to stay at home. I don't know what happened in Malaysia and also in Thailand, but I know in Singapore, they obey all of the what government asks. In Indonesia, it is very difficult. Okay then, that's what happened in Asia. But okay, hello Indonesia, what happened in Indonesia? This is the GDP, yeah. This is the GDP in Indonesia from 2014 to 2019. See that we have quite high GDP. 2019, we have 5 point something. And we expected, previously we expected that we will have higher GDP by the year 2020. Even on January, the government still expect that we can reach that target. But started from May, from May, the government start to think, okay, it is not a good situation. What happened next? See, from 5 point something, and now we have 2.9. This is what happened in Indonesia. Is it the end of the world? I will say no. It is normal. It is not good, but still explainable. Because many people work from home. Because many companies close the business. Because many factories stop the operation. So the processing power, the ability to buy something in the Indonesian, in the community decreased significantly. And it will trigger the economy. I still see the light in the finish line. Okay. What is the impact of COVID-19? This is what happened in Indonesia. Okay. Some impacts of COVID-19. The first one, imported product for the business. I explained before, this not only happened in ASEAN or in other countries, but also in Indonesia, and it significantly impact the business in Indonesia. We notice now that we really depend on imported product, especially for the business market, for the company, and we depend on China. We depend on China. Is it only in China? No. We also depend on other countries. Okay. But then when we depend on, you dominated by one country only, it is going to be worse. Due to the lockdown in several countries, yeah, many government give advice to the community, to the citizen of the country to stay at home, not to produce something, better to think about your health, not about the economy. That's what many people said at that time. And what is the effect? Lockdown it is good. Yeah, it is good. Through for the health, it is good, but for economy, it is not good at all. So for the Indonesian case, I respect Indonesian government that don't take the option of lockdown. Lockdown, that means we stop all of the activities, the economic activities. It is not good for the country. I remember that a couple months ago, there was the interview to the Indonesian President Jokowi in one of the TV program, and the host asked, Mr. President, which one you prefer, economy or health? I remember the answer of Jokowi. Jokowi said, it is not two things that we can choose because both of them actually are one. So lockdown is not the good option for Indonesia. It will not give significant impact to the health issue, but it will make the economy getting worse. That's the situation. Okay, another impact is FDI. The fact that China was the second largest foreign investment realization value in Indonesia. This is what happened in Indonesia. Many Chinese companies doing the foreign investment in Indonesia. Actually, yeah, 70% of foreign investment in China come from, 17% of foreign investment in Indonesia come from China. But actually, by the year 2020, it is expected to be more. But then, yeah, what happened next? Due to the COVID issue, many foreign investment plans delayed or canceled. Yeah, that's not good for Indonesia, of course, because we expect when many foreign investment come into Indonesia, it will help Indonesian economy. It will help government to reduce the unemployment level. That means also indirectly will increase the income per capita. Okay. How about tourism industry? This is the worst case scenario, I think. This is the worst situation for people that work in tourism industry. Yeah, at this time they went down to the lowest level. Previously, 5% of GDP come from tourism industry. This is what happened in Indonesia. And more than 13 million people working in the industry. That's the official data. That means the fact people that working in this industry more than 13 million. To make it worse, there are so many business, there are so many households, there are so many people that depend on the tourism industry. They don't work in the tourism industry, but they get the impact of the tourism industry. When the tourism industry in Indonesia getting down and close the business, they will feel the effect. This has happened quite a lot in Indonesia. For example, this is not only about the hotel. When the hotel closing down the business, the supplier of the hotel also have problem. How about the supplier? The supplier have problem. But then, for example, the rice supplier, the food supplier of the hotel. But the food supplier of the hotel also, they have
Hello, Bu Andra.
I'm quite sure that it has also happened. 3 months ago, I got a call from my friends, GM in one of the small hotel in Yogyakarta. He called me because he want to help the supplier of the hotel. She said that I feel sorry to the supplier. This is meat supplier. They have already bought a lot of meat, fish and beef, but they cannot sell the meat and the beef because the hotels in Yogyakarta just close the business. Yeah, by law, they have to close the business. So I try to help them to sell the product. So even I personally, I help them to sell the product. So they actually not counted as one of the 13 million people working in industry, but they got the impact. Okay. Yeah, the tourism industry went down due to the closing of airport, port, and also the recommendation of physical distancing and stay at home. So it is quite easy for us to understand that why people prefer delay or postpone their plan for holiday and prefer to stay at home. Sorry, million worker lost their job. That's quite significant, yeah. The unemployment level at this moment increased significantly. So, what happened in Indonesia next? Of course, the government take the position to help the country. Of course, the government take position to make it better. There are many policy have already done by Jokowi, especially for the business. What is the purpose of the policies? That's very easy. Basically, for the demand side, for the people, the government, the Indonesian government, try to make Indonesian people have capability to buy the product. Why capability or purchasing power? Yeah, it's very important for the economy. Indonesian government give money to the people, money to the people, and ask them to buy something. But something is not imported product, of course. This is for the local product. Why it is very important? Because if we spend money, that means someone will get our money. When we buy something, that means someone will sell something. So with this kind of situation, the economy will increase. Okay, we can see this is one of the promotion of the government that I respect it very much. Buying from neighbors. Okay, some strategies successfully maintain the purchasing power of many households in Indonesia, so they still can buy something, the essential of product for sure, yeah. But then I say one of the best promotion or advice done by government Indonesia is buying from neighbors. It helps people survive in this unlucky situation. Buying from neighbors. Okay, it has economic growth, although it's insignificant enough to avoid recession. This is what happened in Indonesia. There are so many women didn't work previously. They didn't work in the formal job. They work at home as a mom, nurturing the kids, doing everything domestic issues, domestic thing at home.
I'm sorry to interrupt, Bu Andra. You have 1 minute left.
Okay, okay. And then at this moment, they can earn a lot of money by selling something to the neighbor. It has happened significantly, quite a lot in Indonesia. Okay, then that's what happened in the community. What happened with the policy in the government? Government tried to attract foreign investors to enter Indonesia, including the foreign companies that have invested in China to relocate and or to diversify their investment in Indonesia. So the Indonesian government tried to promote that why don't you doing the foreign investment in Indonesia? And one of the issue is don't put all of your eggs in one basket. So this one of the approach. That's the another issue to avoid risk of disruption. Manufacturers are looking for diversity beyond mainland China. So many company, especially from Western country, they enter Indonesia, so they enter Asia, and do outsourcing there, doing the FDI there, produce the product there. In China, especially, why China is the most favorite one? Due to the labor supply, the land supply, and also the regulation there. So China is the most favorite place for foreign investor to do the investment in Asia. Now, due to the pandemic and also actually also the effect of the trade war between China and United States, now they start to think to put the basket, to put the eggs not only in one basket. So this is the good thing for Indonesia, yeah, to welcome them. Why Indonesia? Because Indonesia is rich in natural resources, large domestic market. We have so many people here. So producing in Indonesia can sell in Indonesia in the domestic market. We have a lot of buyer and we can provide the productive workers. And from the government side, they prepare so many policies to reform, to make the business in Indonesia better and easier. Why Indonesia is also attractive for the investment, foreign investment, because not only that, but actually the company in Indonesia, 64% of the business in Indonesia admit that adoption of transformational technology is very important. This number is higher than global number. There's only 44%. That remember that at this moment, a country, they only rely on low-cost labor to attract people, to attract business, to invest in their country, will lose out. It is not enough, yeah. It is not enough. If we only promote, please invest in our country because we have low-cost labor, it is not enough. They need to focus on creating digital infrastructure. So it is going to be more attractive. Yeah. Okay, this is the last one, Pak Tegar.
Sure.
This is the last one. Okay, many sad stories about COVID-19 in ASEAN and also in Indonesia, of course. But then see, even many predicted that countries in Southeast Asia will have bright future. They predicted, they forecast that by the year 2021, all of the Asian countries, ASEAN countries, will have better economic growth. So this is the forecast, of course. How can we reach that one? How can we reach that? We can do it together. Indonesia can only reach that bright future if Indonesia not work hand in hand with other countries, especially the closest neighbor, Malaysia and Thailand and other Asian countries. Okay then, Pak Tegar, I'm sorry that I cannot make it less than 20 minutes. Thank you.
Well, it's okay, Dr. Mahestu. Thank you so much. Like what Dr. Mahestu said, we can do it together. Okay, I will conclude all of the expert has presented at the end of the sessions because the time is limited. Now let's move to the second expert that will discuss about how Malaysia cope with the COVID-19 pandemic and also how Malaysia actually doing in sustaining and also minimizing the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic in also in business perspective. Okay, Dr. Fazli, you may share your slide.
Okay.
And then you have 20 minutes also, Dr. Fazli.
Okay, here you are. Is it okay? Can everyone see the slide?
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you make it into full screen, Dr. Fazli?
This one I use PDF. Is it
I
okay,
think
or you want to use PowerPoint?
it's okay. If you want to use the PDF, it's okay.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So thank you. So can I start? Is it possible to start?
Yep. The
Okay.
time
Thank
is
you very
yours.
much. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, Mr. Pak Tegar, yeah, and for UAJY for inviting me, especially Ibu Nadia. Thank you for inviting me to share some of the points that I will be sharing, especially focus on Indonesia. Okay. And thank you again. So I think everyone here is doing quite well during the pandemic. Is all over around the world. Okay, it's really serious, and we can see that it's not a what as not really what you call it's really important for us, especially for the elders. Okay, which are uh, affected by them compared to the young ones that they can recover easily. Okay, that's what happened in Malaysia. So we are much focused for the young ones and also for the elders. Okay, so here you see that my topic I just bold it in Malaysia because why we are much focused on um much more focused on Malaysia, the impact in terms of economic impact. Okay, I'm not really expert on this part, but I just share some of the points that what we can see from the Malaysia part of view. But I think everything, everyone in the world, every country, I think face the same problem. Okay, okay. So these are the what the graph that I already compiled since the first case was in January 25th, early this year until the November 12th, 2020. So these are the graph that the what the people are being infected by the virus, and you can see the blue one is the new cases for every day in Malaysia, whereas the orange color is the recovery after they've been admitted in office in the hospital, and then or they stay at home for recovery, and these are the number of for each day. Okay, since the January 25th until the November 12th, 2020. So you can see that from this graph that I be compiling since the first day of Malaysia being attacked by the virus, virus COVID-19, COVID-19. Now we are facing on the third phase. Okay, we are facing on the third phase. So you can see for the first, second, and third. On the third phase, is really drastic increasing. Okay, in drastic, very highly increasing, which are you can see the highest altitude we will go nearly 2,000 people per day infected by this virus. Before that, we thought that at the same on the second phase, it was really serious already. So we try to reduce, we try to avoid people to go move around. Okay, we we try to prevent everyone to infect. But the best part is that we really follow the people here in Malaysia. We follow the orders given by the government. We stay inside. We just go outside if there is any if there is something that we are going to do. Okay, most of them during the first and the second wave, we stay at home. We work at home, but you can see the vice there, and we go. We the suddenly it will increase on the third phase now that Malaysia is currently facing. So it's really very serious about this. Okay, Malaysia really facing about serious about this. And but what we are trying to do is that the frontliners, especially the frontliners, are trying the best to 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 make it the graph drop from day to day. Okay, from day by day. Okay, so this after compiling all this, you can see that there are 7 phases. There are 7 phases that Malaysia applied during the COVID-19, during the pandemic season, Malaysia already applied seven phase. Okay, so on the last phase, on the seventh phase, you can see that uh, it's really rise up because of just now the third wave already increased. Okay, it shows that that every day I can see if you can see that uh, the top one here, that means that it shows that one day each day 282 victims will be infected by the virus in Malaysia. In Malaysia, that means one day 282 uh, persons will be infected by the virus. And now the death for the virus is already 303 since until November 12, 2020. So really, you can see the graph is make it high. So it shows that we need to do something about that. Okay, we need to do something about that. But how far we can do, how far we can go, we can try to protect because what we cannot see the virus. We cannot see. If we can see the virus, we can try to avoid. But now we can't see. As what the first presenter had mentioned, and also WHO also mentioned that treat this virus as the ordinary virus like fever, like any kind of virus that already around us. Okay, it's it depends on us how we treat ourselves, how we clean ourselves, how we hygiene ourselves so that we protect we ourselves and family to get this kind of virus. Okay, it's really serious. It's really rise up. Uh, my, my thought that during on the phase six, it will be going reduce and reduce, but you know, it really rise up to around 282 individual they were infected by the virus each day. Okay, like I just now mentioned that Malaysia already apply on the seventh phase. Okay, on the first phase, we call it as a MCO, Movement Control Order. These are being applied in Malaysia by the government since March 18 to 31st. Okay, so from here, it shows that the graph is still up, rise up, and they apply another 2 weeks more MCO in the second phase. So it doesn't show any what you call has improvement in terms of the infected by this kind of virus, and then the government apply another 2 weeks MCO movement control order. Okay, during the movement control order, we are not allowed to move more than 10 kilometers radius. We are not allowed. Okay, but if you want to move more than 10 kilometers in the radius, you need some permission from the police because why some of them are working. Okay, for example, the essential worker, they need to go to the work. So they need to produce some paperwork from the police, and then this will be allowed for them to work on this during MCO, movement control order. So it will be really stressful. That time, me and my family really stressful during MCO phase one and until phase four because why we can move only 10 kilometer radius. 10 kilometer radius is very small. Okay, very small, and there are so many limitations inside there. Okay, not everyone is allowed to go outside. Only one people allowed to go to buy your groceries. Okay, so everywhere you can see in Malaysia, you can see that during the first phase until phase four, you can see in Malaysia, you can see every single road there will be police, there will be soldiers. Okay, to prevent people from moving around from here and there. Okay, this just to show how we want to try to reduce the case. And then after the infected, the case reduced by day after the phase four, and government imply the conditional movement control order. Okay, conditional movement control order from May 13 until June 9. Okay, what it shows here is that people are allowed to move more than 10 kilometer. That means that we are allowed to move within the states only. For example, I'm in Malacca. That means I can move around in Malacca only. I cannot move to my neighbor states. For example, in Johor, Kuala Lumpur, no, I cannot move there. I just can move around in my own states. Okay, but it's much more better compared just now, MCO. That means I just move only 10 kilometers, but now I can move more than that. Okay, that means that not only one person can go to the groceries to buy groceries. You can two more person, you can go two. Okay, that means they much more loose in terms of the regulation. And then the graph become lower, shows improvement, and the government apply recovery movement control order, RMCO. Okay, until now they go for RMCO. But what I want to mention about RMCO is that people can move around different kind of states within Indonesia, but they cannot go outside the country. Okay, but if someone wants to go outside from the country, you need some paperwork. But within the country, yes, you can go. Okay, but now some of the states, okay, some of the states in Malaysia are applying CMCO, conditional movement control order. Because why? Some of the states have already shows that a higher number of increase of individual infected by this kind of virus. So now government already apply most, I can say most of the states in Malaysia already apply CMCO. Okay, only three states only apply RMCO. Okay, why does this government do this kind of especially the CMCO, RMCO? Why? The purpose of the government doing that is that to increase the activity of the people, to increase the the economic of the country. Because why? During MCO, definitely all activities are really down, really down. Okay, it does hurt with the nation, and also it does hurt with the people itself. So people can't do their business, they can't sell the foods. It's very hard that time during the MCO. But during the CMCO, during RMCO, yeah, it give life to the business people, so that they can do some sort of trade. They can do uh, what business. They can selling, and people can still buying. Okay, on during MCO, people just do online transaction. But remember, not everyone are capable of doing online. Okay, for example, that those who are not literate in computer, so they cannot do buying in online. So that's the problem there. Okay, so by applying this kind of phase, it improves the economic situation in Malaysia. Okay, but now, but the current situation now is that Malaysia already applied CMCO back for I can say most of the states in Malaysia. It does affect uh, businesses, and also it does affect the economy of the country itself. Okay, so we have a look on Malaysia GDP for the first quarter and also the second quarter of 2020. Okay, so yeah, you can see have the graph. Okay, the you can see on the fourth quarter on 2019, and you can compare between the first quarter in 2020. It really drops from 3.6 to 0.7. That's what I mentioned just now as a first presenter. That's what happened in Indonesia, and same apply in Malaysia. And I'm sure it really does apply in all over the world. GDP really drops. Okay, that happened in in the first quarter 2020. You can see the difference between on the fourth quarter 2019 and the first quarter 2020. It's really much difference over there. And then from where the production is, okay, you can see that 3.1 is going for services, 1.5% from the manufacturing, and then mining and quarry, it will be going negative 20%. Okay, these are the distribution. These are the distribution that this kind of industries affected what about the GDP. So you can see, from this you can see that you can see much more onto negative compared to the positive side. Okay, affected by all this COVID. It's really serious. Okay, about our expenditure, we need to do our expenditure. Okay, okay, 6.7. That will be on quarter 20 compared to fourth quarter 2019. Okay, everything is dropped from 8.1 to 7.7, 6.7, 1.3. Okay, government financial consumption expenditure, yeah, we increase by 5%. Because why we need to increase? Because we want to cover what we have lost during the first quarter, okay, by the pandemic. And then gross fixed capital formation, okay, it increased. The negative will be increased to negative 4.6%. And exports, yeah, increase by negative 7% since in quarter fourth 2019. It shows that the export become we have less export. Okay, because why? More countries close their borders. They close their borders. Only certain flight, only certain uh, uh, flight and also shipments are allowed only certain days, not like a normal days. That means that everything that can be, everyone can enter. But now already been blocked. Okay, same as like imports. Malaysia also blocked some of the product flight shipment that coming into Malaysia. So from there, it shows that the import and also exports are going from, I can say, it become worse. Not worse, but it shows a negative there. Okay, so you can see that from the GDP value added annual percentage change, you can see just now from 3.6 to 0.7. Okay, it shows here. Okay, it really drops. The nice curve from since 2017, and then it become a very huge drop to 2020. That's what happened in Malaysia right now. In Malaysia, there will be on the first quarter 2020. There will be until April 2020. But that time, April, because why? Malaysia are infected on the early January. So around 4 months that we are being infected by that by the pandemic. Okay, so we go and for the next one, you go have a look on the second quarter of 2020. That's how we go for the first quarter, and then we go for the second quarter until August 2020. Okay, so for just now we see a huge drop from 3.6 on 2019 to 0.7 on the first quarter, and then on the second quarter it's become negative. It's really a huge drop in terms of our economy, Malaysia economy. Okay, negative 17 is not, doesn't show any positive here. It shows negative. Okay, how serious Malaysia economic now? Okay, that means we need our reserve fund, everything need to cover by our sustain our economy in Malaysia. Okay, so I just brief here about our service. Those are now from 2019 and 2013 mostly are negative. Negative 16.2 on the service, manufacturing negative 18.3, the growth, okay, and then the construction negative 44.5. So how big is it? Nearly 50% drop. And then mining and quarrying negative 20, whereas and the agriculture uh, increased by 1%. Okay, in this agriculture that really helps in terms of the economic. Okay, in terms of expenditure, yes, you can see that you can see the private final consumption, gross fixed, government final export, imports. Especially you have a look at export and export, it become much more drastic drop from negative single digit become a double digit negative. It really drops very drastic. on the second quarter 2020. So that means that government need to do something, okay, to protect our economy, to protect our local, to protect the country itself. They must do something about that. Okay, just I mentioned just now, 3.6 to 0.7, 3.6 will be in 2019. On first quarter to 2020, 0.7, and now you can see it will be 17.1. Okay, negative is supposed to be negative 7.1, 17.1%. Drop very, 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 very high drop. Okay, so now let us look about our foreign direct investment Malaysia on the first quarter and second quarter 2020. Okay, so this about our Malaysian for FDI. Okay, FDI, it shows that on 2000, at the end of 2014 to the first quarter, it shows a high increase, a high increase over there. Okay, just a bit increase of the what FDI. That means we still operate in terms of foreign direct investment. Okay, we do still trade with them, and it shows a positive sign here on the first quarter. Okay, and on the exhibit 4, you can see the distribution by each section, by agriculture, mining, manufacturing, construction, and services. You can see the flow and distribution by each part. So that's what happens FDI during the first quarter in 2020. Okay, on the second quarter, okay, in the second quarter, it drops. Okay, it drops from 6.4 to 0.2. Like just now, it shows just now about like export and import. It shows that a high drop in there from the single digit to for the single digit until the second digit, export and import. So now it does effect on the FBI in Malaysia.
I'm sorry, Dr. Fazli, for
Yes.
interrupting you, but you
Okay.
have 1 minute to conclude all the presentations.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So this will be this just show the relationship between our GDP and also FDI. So it drops because of the export and import. Okay. So just here I show you some cartoons. Lockdown is not same for everyone. Yeah, it's not everyone. So that means that lockdown is good for what? It's good to prevent someone to be infected by the virus. But from this cartoon, from this this what this cartoon, from this figure, it shows that it give different impact to everyone. For the rich person, for the business people, for the poor, it's not everything is not the same. Okay, so that means that's why, like in Indonesia especially, yeah, the first presenter Ibu mentioned that they need to go outside to find work. They want to survive. They want to have money to buy food. So it's not the same for everyone who's being locked down. So we need to see ourselves whether how far we can go. Okay. So what the government can do is that to 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 prevent our economy become worse, they have the short-term economic recovery plan. So we have to resolve reliance, restart, and we go the recovery plan and revitalize reform. So now Malaysia implement the recovery plan. Okay, in terms of short-term economic recovery plan, so 35 billion ringgit Malaysia is uh, being sourced to the government to the economy of the Malaysia to help to stimulate so that our economy in Malaysia will become much better. I cannot say it will be the best, but at least the people, the business, the local people will can survive, even though that the number of workers are being terminate high from time to time. But it's the best to help the people in Malaysia itself. So these are the short-term economic recovery plan. Okay, I think that will be all for me. Thank you very much for listening. And I pass to Mr. Chairman, Pak Tegar, for
Yeah,
the
thank
next
you so
session.
much.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Fazli. So what I can say to is that what I will recite what the Dr. Fazli has say that lockdown is not one size fit all solutions. And
Yes,
then
correct.
yep. And then we do agree actually Indonesia I think and also Malaysia do agree that lockdown is not the best solution for all. And then last but not least, because we have limited times, we will hear the presentations from Dr. Aaron Law that will present us about Thailand perspective in dealing with this pandemic, of course. And then the time is yours, Dr. Aaron Law. I'm. I think you're still on mute, Doctor.
Yes, I need to get my slide onto the screen.
Yep. Please
Uh,
share your screen.
I'm not sure. Okay, let me see. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Not yet. So maybe
Mhm.
new share is required.
There is a ribbon in the below on the screen
Right.
that have icon upward arrow to share the screen. Can you see it?
Yes. Let me just see where's my Zoom.
Okay, while waiting for Dr. Aaron, I would like to remind all the participants, should you have any questions, just chat it in the chat box. And then please mention your name and your affiliations. And also, at the same time, please state to whom you direct the questions to. Okay? And then, yep, now I can see the slide.
Thank you.
Can you make it like
Definitely.
in a full slide?
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yep, thank you so much. The time is yours.
Thank you for the invitation. Yeah, this is your theme. I look at the theme. You look at the challenges of for economics and global business competitiveness for ASEAN. So and I developed my own topic along the line, maintaining and developing global competitiveness during and after the pandemic. And I was just wondering whether the topic is appropriate because I had a very different approach at the present development. In fact, I'm not even happy with the topic that I'm doing. But let me just give a quick introduction of myself. I spent my early years in the UK, qualifying myself some 10 years, my master's and my doctoral degree. And then I taught for 4 years in Singapore. I'm a Singaporean, by the way, and I have worked for the last 25 years for 3 multinational, running around the world as a marketer, 1 Canadian, 2 American company. And I founded my own business in my medical devices and ran it for about 7 or 8 years. I have retired from business in 2007 from the business world, and I'm now a senior faculty member of the university in Thailand for the last 13 years. So you add all these years together, I'm an old man. My son is 38 years old and I am 65 years old. So I would like to share what I see from both my running around in the world as a businessman. And I would also like to share with you my teaching experience. One of the things that I'm saying here is I became an avid reader of business events. And I've been teaching around in Myanmar, Vietnam, Germany. Um, but most at this moment, I feel maybe the last slide. I'm doing a second doctoral degree. 38 years. I'm the oldest student in my university. I think so. My focus of my 20 minutes presentation, I think it is very serious. The development of the COVID, and Dr. Mahistu and Dr. Fasli has already mentioned. And I have 4 proposals on what the ASEAN business community can do, and that's my main focus of this presentation. And maybe allow me to just look at the one. This is something that I had developed from. I had 3 weeks ago. I went to. I was speaking at another webinar to the Medan community, and that was the first series. This is country, global, United States, Indonesia, Thailand, Malaysia, according to its theme of the webinar today. And you see these figures, it get a little bit confusing for now, but I just want to say the bracket figure is, I first wrote a set of slides for on the 12th, 2 days ago. I developed a slide from 42 million, it's become 52 totally infected in the world, and 1 million to 1.3. And on that day, when I wrote the slide on 2 days ago, 10,000, sorry, 10,000, yeah, 10,000 died on one day. Okay, so the United States, again, you can see this is United States, and of course, Indonesia. This is comparing. I'm just comparing 24th October to 11 November. That was the day I spoke for the webinar 3 weeks ago to a Medan community, and now today, 3 weeks later. So Indonesia has jumped from infected from 381 to 448, and to totally you have 14,000 people died as of when I wrote this pair of slides. I updated it just this morning. Sorry, previous slide is jumped. You can look at the, sorry, it's coming up. Today you have 104 people died. Just the latest figure. This is what I updated. 5,444 infected just today. And I would like to pass this information back to all the students watching and the faculty and the business community to look at these two sources. I got all these sources from the worldometers and this. I watch every morning looking at the development. Malaysia, you might be interested to look at Malaysia because there's a theme of your conference. This is just today infected. This is my update. 1,300. I mean, look at Malaysia and Indonesia. You have a lot more bigger population. 30 million people versus maybe some 200 over million people in your country, and keep coming up. So 5,004, and let me just move this thing away. Can I? 5,400 versus 1,300 just today. I updated it 14th of November today, and if you look at one person died versus your 104 people died in Indonesia. And Thailand, surprisingly, just today, only 9 new cases. Nobody died. But you look at Thailand here, compared to Indonesia, 59 people died totally versus 13,000 people died. And Indonesia, 381 infected cases versus 3,007. Same period, same source of data. So sometimes a lot of people question, are the data in Thailand accurate? Are they accurate? But I just want all of us to realize the way you argue that is when there are data, as soon it will become patients in the hospital, and then people will die because there is no cure yet for this virus. So, but I personally I think that their data are accurate because these are all recorded by the Ministry of Health. So they have people died 59 3 weeks ago, become 60 2 days ago when I updated it. And on that day, these 2 days, nobody died, and neither has anybody died according to it. So being in Thailand, representing Thailand's data, maybe you may want to reflect a little bit on this. Malaysia figures, I think Dr. Flasley figures are quite similar to what I've seen. They have today, because I did not talk about Malaysia three weeks ago, so I have to get new data on 2 days ago. Totally in Malaysia, infected are 42,000, and total death is 300 over, and then on that day was 2, and Malaysia on this day is 1. So we have very big figures difference. Malaysia, just like you listen to Dr. Fazli, they are taking very serious situation to control it. Thailand just control the locking down the whole country. We can still go between places, from one place to another place. I think Malaysia is getting tighter, where you can't at 7 phases. I think in one part of the slide later, I want you to imagine a wave. When you go to the sea, you see wave coming, going out, coming, going out. I think we are facing that situation now. You remember reading, some of you, if you are very well read, you will find in the past, Italy, they were so scared, so high. And now they are right back again. They thought they were out again. Now it's coming back. So until we have the vaccine, everybody is looking for the vaccine that is the cure for the disease. And maybe I'm bringing very bad news. I think we are in very difficult position. We are now looking at survival. So that's why my first question just now, your theme is about development, about competitiveness. I want to talk to all about our at the individual level, at the company level, at the country level. We are now struggling to survive. If you're lucky, we are surviving. So think about this. So if you survive, and then maybe you can, after you survive, then you can grow. If you can't even survive, forget about growth now. So my focus today in the discussion is all about survival and growth at the individual level. Um, I my thought, the impact. We are all. I think you heard Dr. Fazli. I think we all understand the entire world. We are talking about. He talks about decrease, increase in the decrease. But I want to talk very simple because we are all in business and economy. I think if you have 2 quarters, when you have no growth, you are in a recession. So you are in a recession. What we are, the big word of big R, everybody is very scared. When you have a recession, it is normal. Dr. Mahistu said the up and the down and the up, the fluctuation that we all know. We know very well demand and supply fluctuation is very normal. But when you go up and you come down and you go on and on and on without going up, now we are in a recession. Because why we are scared? Because when you go long, not growing up, it's very difficult to go up again. So we are now in that situation now. The entire world is in a recession. I wonder why nobody want to talk about it, because I think it's very sensitive. Because I think all countries, I put all countries, the last quarter and this quarter, there is no growth. For example, if you are 100 and then this quarter you are 100, you have zero growth. But you are 100, you go negative, you have negative growth. So if you have no growth, you will have a recession. Two quarters, 6 months, you will be in a recession. And recession is difficult to go back. So the point is very difficult to recover, to go back. And I suspect it will take a lot of effort to go back to normalcy. That's why you heard about the past normal and then the new normal. Maybe there are different definition of that normal. And then now we want to go back to normal. It's not possible. I think one of the two earlier speakers already said we want to go back to normal is quite difficult. But I want to warn, and this is my serious part of this discussion. The real impact is not blown out yet. I don't think so. We are seeing the real thing yet. The big one has not come. You may say, no, it's nothing to do with us. It's all, you look at the figure outside. I think just today, the US have a record of 160,000. If I did that one correctly. Yes. You look at the United States, sorry, but that figure is updated to 182,094 just today. And 1,394 people has died. 1,003, and this is a record every day, and it's spreading very fast. And it is coming and going, coming, and like a wave. It comes down a little bit and then it comes back again. My fear, my brothers and sisters, my friends, my colleagues in Indonesia, we have to pay more attention to this spread of these things, that it's not there yet. And my point is, the real impact is not blown out yet. Maybe I'm just very pessimistic. It will take time, definitely. It is a very this sentence, I say returning to normalcy. This is very optimistic, but it will take time. But I suspect we are in dire strait. Right, the infections return back and forth as in wave, like I said. I have a question mark for this statement. We are looking for the vaccine. Is there a vaccine ready for us affordably? I mean, there are lots of politics. In fact, Donald Trump is saying, yeah, we have a vaccine. US has the first one to have the vaccine. The Chinese said they have some. The Japanese said they have some. But I don't know. I have a question mark. So we are in a very difficult situation. The last pandemic, the pandemic that affected the whole world, was more than 100 years ago. 1918, the pandemic flew again. Now we are talking about, now I have been around, I'm 65 years old, maybe I'm not entirely in my working age. I've never seen anything like that. I used to talk to a class of students. I'm saying that if you are working, you know, be careful because you may not have a job to continue. So at the individual level, people are losing their job. They're losing their job. So if you're talking about no growth, definitely we are talking about survival. There is no, therefore there is no development. What businesses can do? I would like to focus. I have 14 minutes. I'm already finishing. I want to run 4 things I want to talk about. The textbook does not have a solution. In fact, I go as far as saying maybe the whatever the things in the textbook is no longer relevant because we have never seen anything like that. So how are you going to respond, right? When fully blown up, and it is in Europe and North America, it's already fully blown up. It is all about survival. It's all about survival. We need to understand how we got here, and we need to formulate. So I think the 4th thing I want to talk about for small, medium-sized businesses is that they need to bring the price down. Nobody can afford. They need to bring the price down. If they want to survive, what I gave an example in a class just last night. If it's something selling at 1,000, everybody's selling at 1,000, nobody is interested. Just a figure. Nobody's interested in 1,000 until you bring the price down. But bring down to what level? I want to be very. I mean, having been experienced in the real world, I think if you bring it down to 100, 10 times, but the same quality, people might be interested. So you say, my students say, no, we cannot afford. We lose money. But I'm asking, if you want to survive, you have to think of something. My present thought from my perspective, I think if you want to survive, you need to bring it down to when everybody can afford and excitingly can afford. So from 1,000, maybe bring it down to 10 times. And how do you do that? So you need to know how to negotiate. The supply chain is very long. And even your employee, even the government, we need to learn how to negotiate. So our MBA students, those of your students who are attending, you need to be very good in negotiating. You got to tell them, I buy a lot of your supply product to make my product, and my product is now selling used to sell at 1,000. But right now, I can only sell the product at 100. I buy from you 50, so I have dropped 10 times. So you sell me? You have to sell me at 5. If you're not, then I go to somebody who can give me a 5. I can just tell you that there are so many people who are dying for business. So I got to go around and negotiate. So I can bring down my cost down to 10%. Then I can get everybody else's customer to me. I can survive. I can survive. That's the first model. The second model, I want to talk about technology. I think we have very little to talk about technology, and maybe during question time, I run out of time. I think we need to adopt technology a lot more. We need to adopt technology. Using technology to replace the human part. The technology robot, right? Like you can survive because the robot doesn't cost salary, don't go tired. But of course, you have other questions. How about the cost? How about the people that you throw onto the streets? We can discuss it during our discussion. The third solution is to work with China. The Chinese have all the product. That is where we need to work with them. They have all the one belt, one road is all done up. All the problem we see today is about number 1 fighting number 2. Number 1 is the United States. Number 2 is up and coming China. Everything we see, a lot of propaganda, but then they are fighting China from coming out. They say don't come up so fast. So unfortunately, then the pandemic came. So we are all in that kind of mess now. So we need to work with the Chinese in terms of not only domestically, we need to work with them internationally. There's lots of opportunity. The Chinese have a weakness. The Chinese at one time was sending their product. They're sending the product to only one customer, for example, Nike or Adidas. They make into millions of shoes when they are outsourced to make for them. So when they send it back, they do not need to know marketing. So they just put. I was involved with them during that time, and they were making shoes in the manufacturing process. And at the last station, it's a container. 2 weeks later, all the hundreds of thousands of shoes they make is sent back to their customer. Only one customer. Right now, they know how to make it very well. And now the customer in US and Adidas in Europe, for example, they say, no, we cannot afford to have so many. Actually, Europe and North America, the economy is a lot worse, if not because of their ability in their mind to make more money. So they are coming down. So we need to work with the Chinese to develop this. And this is another topic entirely. I very much want to come back and just discuss that topic. We need to work with them. There is no choice. They are now number 2. In a few years, they will be number 1. They are just here with us. So this is what I think we can do. Um, and use of technology, understand the eco-political. We need to strengthen our business relationship with China. Survival and growth to they have a big need. The need is that they do not know how to market their product. So I think we can fit in here from ASEAN. We can work with them to help them to market their product all over the world. International business in addition to domestic growth. And perhaps this is more in a separate manner. We need to create a new generation of business professionals from the business school. And finally, I want to talk about doing business with the poor. Lots of people are in a very bad state now because of the pandemic. And now we have to learn how to, they have. I mean, there's only about maybe less than 5% of the people are rich and powerful. And as a business school, we used to go and just want to teach all our students to do business with them. But nobody cares about the 95% of the people. We need to know how to do business because with the poor. So I think I'm coming to the last slide. Don't worry, Mr. Turtle. So, so we do under the poor and there's lots of idea I have under doing business with the poor and underprivileged. So I appreciate your thoughts and comments, and thank you for your attention and the invitation to speak. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the insight, Dr. Aaron Law. So I will now conclude all the insight that we got from the three experts from Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand. The first thing first, from Indonesia, we do have concerning epi curve, or we do have concerning growth in COVID-19 cases. But at the same time, economic cycle has to uh, what has to start again. So we do have some kind of solutions, and the first one is about revamping the investment and also regulations about foreign direct investment, especially to actually reignite the engine of economic engine. And then after that, we have also direct subsidies from the government to the people, so the people can spend to buy local product. So it can create what I call as neighbor economy. We help our neighbor so we can actually survive in this pandemic. And also from Malaysia implements 7 phases of movement control order. And then now in the 7 phases, they are in the RMCO, recovery movement control order. And also Malaysia and also Indonesia have some kind of agreement that lockdown is not one size fit all solutions. And then the last thing about talent and also the perspective of Dr. Aaron, yes, it is a little bit pessimistic, but it will get worse because pandemic is not over yet. But after that, we will have a recovery. And then how can we minimize the risk and also the turn down because of the pandemic? Please also now we can use technology actually. So if we use technology, it can help to revitalize the economy faster. Uh, so okay, that's the insight that I can actually summarize from all of the speakers. And now because we have limited times, let's move on to the second sessions of this webinar. And in the second sessions will be more about student sharing experience by one of student of Atma Jaya, Yogyakarta, and then one from UTM Malaysia. So because nowadays I see and we believe that student exchange experience when they go abroad and they will actually experience culture shocks and also experience interacting with other people that has different background, cultural background with them will develop that will become a great experience and will become a great development experience to them. So we will share their experience right now. Although I know it is the time of pandemic, but we do have to keep learning. So and also student exchange is not only about going abroad physically, but nowadays because we have internet and also we have online platforms, you can actually have an exchange online also. So we without further ado, the first sharing sessions will be delivered by UD Cristianto, one of my students actually. He has graduated from UAJY Yogyakarta University from international program, because in international class program we do make the student exchange become one of compulsory, because we want students to have international experience. And then UD is going it went I mean went to the Assumption University Thailand to have the student exchange program in there for 6 months. And good morning, Yudi.
Good morning, Pak Tegar.
And then you may share your slide right now, and then you have 7 minutes.
Okay, thank you. Did you see my screen?
Clearly.
Okay, thank you. So thank you for the introduction, Pak Tegar. So actually, it's my pleasure to be here today. And good afternoon, everyone. Hope all of you are doing great today. My name is Yudi Kristianto, and you can call me Yudi. And just like what Pak Tegar has stated, I used to be a student at UAJY University. And in 2019, I did an exchange program to Assumption University, Thailand that I am going to share today. And now let's just go to it directly. So these are the contents that I'm going to share today, started with why I studied in international program and why I did an exchange program to Thailand and the benefits of joining an exchange program. And it will be ended with my point of view regarding the pandemic. Now let's go to the first topic. First, so basically if people ask me why did I study in international program of Atmajaya University? First, because of the subject registration, and I believe all of you know how hectic it must be during registration period, that we have to compete with so many students just to get a subject. And basically for me, I'm too lazy to do that. So I prefer to take the international class where I had to compete with only 20 students and at most only 40 students. And the next one is that I want to improve my language, especially in English, because the subject was delivered in English and I had to use it all the time. And the last one is from the international exposure, either through exchange program or double degree program. And besides that, even in class, I had an opportunity to meet students, foreign students that do an exchange program at Atmajaya University, which is why in 2019, I did an exchange program in Assumption University, Thailand, just like in the picture. And if people ask me why Thailand, one of the main reason is because of economic reason that it is not expensive compared to other country and it is kind of similar to Indonesia. And the next one is also because of the education system, that the university has the good education system related to management, as my major is international business management program. And besides that, also I had to take a subject that I need to took in order to graduate on time. And one of the university that had the subject is Assumption University. It is also an international university where I believe that I will have an opportunity to meet so many students from diverse nationality. And I get all the things that I want actually. And all those decisions led to tons of benefit that I did not expect before. And because the grant team is about economic condition and competitiveness, then I'm going to talk inside regarding economic condition and competitiveness. First, it gave me a clear market research because I have a hands-on market research for my daily life that there was something new every day, no matter what happened. I can learn like what people do for a living and then what products sell well in Thailand and so many stuff. Even the working hours, I got to learn it, and also from the friendship that meeting new people, it can help me to understand more. And one of the most exciting thing about exchange program for sure is meeting new friends. And for example, at that time, I realized that the price of a face care, like a face wash, for example, like a body shop, it's more expensive in Thailand compared to Indonesia. It's more expensive like 200 baht or 100,000 rupiah. And also for a luxury product, it is more expensive in Thailand due to the tax. So those are the things that actually can find it on the internet, but when you go there directly, like it's a whole new experiences. It's totally different from reading it on the internet. And it will also benefit you as a student and also in the job market because it gives you a fresh perspective that you did not know before. So you will know how to do something not only from one way, but from different way. For example, like KFC in Thailand, that you will not find KFC that sell chicken with rice, but they sell it chicken with French fries. So that's one thing, that the first perspective that I get. And also it will give you a career opportunities, because as a student, when I went abroad to Thailand, I decided that I didn't want only study, but I want to gain more. And at that time I decided that I want to gain it through internship. So while I was in Thailand, I did an internship in a petroleum company as an organizational change and development, focusing on marketing. And by doing this, you will learn how people work in different countries. So that's what you can do. And the last one is that it will boost your confidence, because you don't have anyone abroad, that so you have to do things by your own, that you need to start talking with strangers and become more independent. And it's totally different. It's a really good experience actually. For the last topic regarding the pandemic, or my point of view, so basically for me, one of the biggest concern is that I don't know when it will end. So, and nobody know when it will end. Even after the vaccine, we don't know whether it will be the same or not. And as a fresh graduate, it is kind of hard for me to find a job due to the number of companies that delaying their recruitment. However, for sure, it is getting better right now compared to when it all started. And if you ask me what I can say about the pandemic, it's all about hashtag point of view, whether I want to see it as a bad thing or I want to see it as something positive. And I choose to see it as a blessing in disguise, because I still have a choice to stay home compared to people that don't have a choice, that they need to go outside even though they want to stay at home because they have a responsibility. So it's true that I cannot control the pandemic, but I can control my own action or myself, which is why the thing that we can do to support the country is by doing social distancing. And even if you want to go outside because you are too tired to stay at home, at least follow the health protocol. And the next one is you can find your passion, because I saw so many of my friends right now, they choose to cook because of the pandemic, that even use it as a business that they sell because they have time right now. So that's the thing that you can do. And I can even say that actually studying online is not a bad thing, because I know someone that do study online, had a midterm, while at the same time she also did a competition and also internship, three activities at the same time. And we won't be able to do this before, but because of the pandemic and online class, we can do it right now. So that's why I can say that it's kind of a blessing in disguise. So to close my sharing today, I just want to say that it's sure that we did that right now is a hard time, that we did not have a control, that there's a big challenge called the pandemic. However, this pandemic is something that we cannot control, as it is outside of ourselves. But there is something that we can control, and it is ourselves and our action. And no matter what happens, don't stop. And if your plan failed because of the pandemic, you need to move and get past through it. And it's time to move forward. So that's all for me. Thank you for listening. And I would like to say sorry if I said something wrong, and I pass the back the time. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yudi. It's time to move forward because what? Because maybe we are in the midst of pandemic, but we still have to learn. We still have to develop ourselves. So it's time to move forward. So okay, right now without further ado, because we have very limited times, let's move on to Nurul Atika. She's the student, undergraduate student in UTM, and then she will share experience of her experience in going to Indonesia as a Malaysian for 6 months and then studying in Atmajaya Yogyakarta University. The time is your Atika.
Hello, hi everyone. Can you hear me?
Yep, clearly.
Okay, okay. Okay, thank you to Pak Tegar, and also thank you for all the speakers, Miss Mahistu, Dr. Fazli, and also Dr. Aaron Law for your excellent presentation. So here I am Nura Atika Abdullah. You can call me Tika, and I'm a third year student, which is currently studying technology management innovation at UTM, and I was an exchange student at Atmajaya for one semester last year, 2019. So well, so when I first got an invitations to be a speaker, that I was shocked because this is my first time actually being a speaker. So it's quite good for hearing, for knowing the challenge for economy and global business competitive. But here I want to share with you my one of a memorable experience that I got from Atmajaya and Yogyakarta, which is for me, I'm so excited and happy because from here that I made a lots of friends, and I meet so many people, exchange student people from different countries, Germany, Netherlands, Pakistan, and so on. And one of the reason why I joined student exchange is because I want to, and I want to enhance my skills. I want to know better. Uh, in other words, I mean, I want to know better Indonesia, because I do like to know more about culture. So that's why it's lead me to do a student exchange. And you can see it, I don't know why, because I could uh keep missing Indonesia, especially Yogyakarta and Atmajaya, because I got a lot of experience there, and I can be more better person day by day. Um and this is actually one of here is, you can see it, Merti Dusun. I don't know why I really like the Japanese Thanksgiving ceremony. It make me like, oh, this is a new experience for me, which is I can talk to I can learn talk in Japanese. And even though I don't really understand, but I'm the one who like to excel in language. That's why I'm joining this opportunity of exchange student. So why for me that how that exchange could benefit to the country. And one of the things that I can see, adaptability, because it helps us to adapt with others culture in different country. This is what I got while I'm doing my student exchange. Because when you try to adapt with other country in different continents, for example, like you want to adapt with Asian and also Europe, two different continents, which is they have a different culture, they have a different uh, different behavior sometimes for me. So it's actually help us, help us to um, when we want to go for maybe for job hunting once a day, it helped me as well to know better to know better in organization culture. So you may you have an experience, in 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 different cultures, so you can develop your own adaptability in different country. So next is I got benefit from the exchange is transferring knowledge, which is as we know that transferring knowledge, not just like we want to learn something new knowledge in a different country, but we want to learn new skills, we want to learn new abilities, what we can do. So from here, even though in the class, while I was in the class in Atmajaya, I can see the different perspective from different people from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from Pakistan, from Germany, from Netherlands. They have a different way of thinking, in which lead me to to exchange, to make some like transferring knowledge, like transferring skill. Maybe they have this skill, so I don't know that skill, so I can like sharing the knowledge together. Because for me, that I'm really um I believe that by by you learn something new in other countries, so that you can bring back home with your new skill, with your new knowledge, with your new cultures, which is you can long run the employment, exchange productivity, and also stronger in a higher economy in their home country lah. And the third one is communications. What I learned from here, I can improve my communication skills, which is verbal or non-verbal. As we know that communication is one of the important skills that everyone should need to do, should have, so that language is for me that is very main rules of communications, which is for us to learn. So I'm the one who like to learn more about language, even though I don't know I don't know I don't know how to communicate well in that language, for example Japanese language. So but I try to learn more. I try to know the basics so that I can greet people with the language. So I think this is a very important, very beneficial for students. And next is innovations. Okay, because I'm a student of a technology, management technology. Okay, I learn how to manage a technology, and which is to continuous improvement, which is we call that innovation. So that beside that uh, you know how to you are transferring knowledge. It's not just enough for transferring knowledge, so that you are actually able to generate innovation ideas from a different point of view, from understandings or practicality. So I don't know why I tried to implement some of what Atmajaya did to the university, in the terms in aspect, in any aspect. For example, I do like the way of student Atmajaya students studying. They how they study, how they cope with the teamwork. So I think it's for me, it's good for me to implement in my university, and I try to share with my friend. After I went back to I went back from Indonesia to Malaysia last year, and I keep telling my friends about Indonesia. I keep telling my friend about Atmajaya. I don't know why, because I feel so like it's good, if we can try to uh think out of the box, like a new innovation that we can make from two countries, for example. And the last one is a networking. This is a very crucial thing, and I think it is beneficial for students who made an exchange program, because networking is very important thing for you to strengthen the unity of both country. So because we know that I'm trying to make some like comparison, also Indonesian and also Malaysian. Yes, I do see a lot of similarities between Indonesian and also Malaysia, but sometimes maybe we need the networking because of uh, maybe some of the way of the similarity of in economic, the way of how they treat the economic development is different sometimes, because of a unique social, how Indonesian have some sometimes I can say it's a unique social for me, how they have a very unite between language, between the uh, bonding each other without looking at any races. So these kinds of thing can lead us to to foster goodwills of between two countries. So it's good for having for having an exchange program. And I do believe that by doing this exchange and not just strengthen the unity, strengthen the networking, but also student lead to broaden understandings of development issue around the world, especially development issue. So okay. And the last one is I do want to share a few tips to stay productive during pandemic, which is this is what I'm keep doing, because we know that I hope that students, even me as well as student, we sometimes we keep complaining, keep complaining on like, oh, I don't like online classes, I don't like I want to study in physical class as usual. Yeah, we do know that we has as what that Dr. Aaron said, we have to survive right now. We cannot grow up if we cannot survive. So now you have to learn how to survive. As me as well, student, I learn now how to survive, even though sometimes that yeah, we have to change the way of we are studying because of this pandemic. And but one thing that you should be grateful, because of we learn in a we still can learn, we still can have a class as usual even though in online class. So you have to try to be motivate yourself, motivate yourself, because it's not easy. It's not easy in online class. I do believe it, because we dealing with uncertainty sometimes. We're struggling enough, with the online. We don't have internet data, for example, and others more problems having by students. So those of things actually for me that bring to be a better person in life lah. So what this is the tip that I keep keep asking myself as well. Please do this, please, this is not enough to this is not what we call that uh yeah, it is not enough for us only to complaining and stop complaining and but doing nothing. But we have to do something, like you have to maintain a healthy diet, and then you have to make sure that you can control your emotion. Because I do believe that most of students nowadays in the we are now in a set of pandemic. They are so stressful. They are like me as well sometimes, very stressed with my online classes and so on. So you have to control emotions and do regular exercise to stay fit. We know that online class we have to sit down and do nothing, just like listening to lecture and that writing. But you have to make sure that you make a move. You try to move your body and exercise, and make sure that you can have a good environment of your workplace. Try to decorate your workplace, for make sure you have a good mood in studying. And this is the part that I really like to do, because I know that I'm far away from my family. I far from my family, and I far from my classmate as well. So I did a virtual hangout, which is sometimes I call my friend, just want to, to talk about something. Sometimes I do talk about pandemic as well, talk about my life. Just want to make sure that we can control our emotion. We know how to handle. We don't want that we are alone and without doing nothing, but we can still talk to someone. Because talk to someone and try to break from social media means here is try to stop, like scrolling IG, FB and so on, because it's not good for you. It's not good for you in this time, because for me you have to talk to someone. It's a must. And the last one is maintain the COVID-19 SOP. So you still as a student, we have to bear in mind that we cannot do anything, like we cannot complaining much to the government, because yeah, we know all around the world dealing with this pandemic. It could what we call that um difficult for us, to overcome this in a short period of time. So maintaining the social distance, you have to practice a good hygiene. So that's all for me. So last word for me, just for a student as me as well, just stop complaining. Try to start shining yourself. I know that a lots of people, even though my friends also keep telling me that so stressed with the class, even me as well. But we have to keep survive, learn to survive. And from here, that we can think out of the box, the way that we are transitioning to a new norm. So we know ourselves, what should we do for survival. So it's good for us to actually, for me, like this pandemic also, try pandemic also help me to be a better person in life. How you dealing with a problem and so on. So that's all for me.
Okay, thank you so much, Atika, for the sharing. If I can conclude it in one sentence or one liner, this pandemic is not the end of the world. This pandemic bring out challenges, but also at the same time, when there is a big challenges, I believe that there will be a big opportunity. So don't stop learning, don't stop developing yourself because of this pandemic, because you have to survive. At the end of the day, as a human, we have to survive. Okay, thank you so much. So we will move on to the next sessions, which is question and answer sessions. There is many questions. There are many questions actually, but due to the limited times, I will compact the questions into two questions. The first questions is directed to our experts, and because we need to recover the economy due to this pandemic, do you believe that we have one size fit all solutions to actually fasten the recovery? And then, is there any sectors or is there any group or social people that we need to assist more in order for them to survive in this pandemic also? So I would like to ask to all of the experts, maybe ladies first. Kumahestu, is there any one size fit all or panacea for this? How to recover from this pandemic, Kumahestu? Is there any one size fit all solutions?
Okay then. Uh, this is the painkiller for all of disease. Yeah. I will say, of course, ignoring that everyone have already used the digital approach, the digital technology. So one big thing that will be the painkiller for all this is innovation. Innovation and creative thinking in the business that can be implemented in so many things. For example, at this moment, many company find new needs, the consumer needs, new needs due to the pandemic. For example, Qantas, Australian flight company, they found that there is new needs for the consumer due to the innovation. They sell the ticket for the flight from Sydney, go back to Sydney for 7 hours. Previously, there is no one want to buy the ticket, the flight ticket from Sydney, go back to Sydney, only in 7 hours. It seems that they feel the holiday. So I will say this is one of innovation. The painkiller for everything, every disease in this pandemic is innovation. Of course, we can use technology and everything, but the most important thing is innovation.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Mahestu. Now I will move to the second part of the questions. We think we have one painkiller for all, which is technologies and also innovations. Do we have actually a very best strategy also to implement the technology and innovations to fasten the recovery post COVID-19? I would like to ask these questions to Dr. Fazli.
Okay, about technology. Yeah,
Mhm.
about technology. Yes, nowadays we can see that since the pandemic, uh, the cases that we can see from since early of 2000, end of 2019, we can see that most people are using what we can say that technology to improve their life. Okay, for example, like businesses, I can say for the aspect of the businesses, those are one who are not dealing with selling through online. Nowadays, you can see people are using online. They are go for more technology, and if you can see like creating the new what vaccine. Okay, before this, they what they need several years of to produce a good vaccine. But now with the kind of technology, they can produce a much more faster, but it cannot, it's still lack of time, but but it's much more better compared to the previous years that the technology that we have nowadays is much more better, much more faster, so that it can improve our life to get a better vaccine. That's what you can see, that the technology that impact to us. Okay, for as a students, okay, for the students, for the lecturers, for everyone who is working at home using technology. I know that everyone are not what you call not in terms of infrastructure. Some of them are not enough, okay, enough of times. For example, like the infrastructure that need to produce by the government, need to the government to provide. They have to be in terms of online classes. They have to be nice infrastructure. Okay, not everyone. I can say not everyone afford to buy a computer or laptop. Okay, but we try our best. We try our best to think how to solve this problem from time to time. But for me, from my personal opinion, is that I'm not against on online classes or online teaching or online working. Okay, I'm not against that. But for me, is that if we want to go for approach of everything is about online, we need to look back into our infrastructure. If our infrastructure is good, then we can go for our online. Okay, for example, like in the States, in Europe, they have a very good infrastructure. That's why they can implement a very good online classes or online working at home. But for us, especially in ASEAN, okay, we can see the internet, some of the places are still lagging, and some of the places even do not have any connection to internet. So we need to improve our infrastructure first. Then from time to time, we can implement a very good online. Everything's about online. Okay, but remember, like I always mention to my students, okay, you need to look different. You need to look at the perspective. I always ask my question: does technology help us, or does technology make us worse? So you need to define. The student needs to define where does technology bring us. If it's good for us, then it will benefit for us. But if the technology misuse of the technology, it will bring back to us. So that's my point of view about technology nowadays about pandemic. Okay, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Technology and pandemic. Now I will focus on the last part because Dr. Aaron also stated about underprivileged people. So I think that, in my own opinion, this pandemic is disappropriately impacts everyone. So everyone is not having the same experience with pandemic, especially the underprivileged one. Do you think that implementing technology and innovations will equate everyone else the same? Uh, so it can what offset the disappropriate effect of this pandemic to all people, to all social unit there. Dr. Aaron, you're still on mute, I think. Yep.
Okay, I would like to approach it in a connected manner, but in two steps. I mentioned in my presentation, I think to survive now, uh, I think Dr. Mastura also talked about innovation. Just before 1 year before when we had this pandemic situation, now we have already experienced for 1 year. A technology, particularly in robotics, artificial intelligence, and using a machine to substitute labor, human labor, that is already at the threshold. And now with the pandemic, I would see my dream that I think we should, as business school, we should organize our curriculum so that we can maximize on technology in innovation and use machine to do all the mundane work. For example, I think you all can accept human being is not existing just to work. Human being has got many other reasons to exist. So, but unfortunately, we ended up working all the time, 8 hours. So I think this is a good time. Pandemic. This is a very positive side. So company can adopt the transformation using all kinds of technology, especially in artificial robotic stuff. Recently, just before the pandemic, I was in China, in Chengdu. I saw a group of people surrounding, a very big group of people surrounding, and there's a lot of mothers there. And the children was having mini robot, and the children was interacting with the robot very, very excitingly. The robot can talk to them, the robot can teach them. So I can even see all teachers as starting with kindergarten. We're going to have no more kindergarten because the teachers have very little patience, but then the robots have got more patience, and the kids primarily are very interested learning from a machine. It has a lot of things that can respond using artificial intelligence, what the children is learning. And so there's one area, for example. So now coming back to the main issue that Mr. Pegar said about when I like to see companies, our curriculum organized in a manner that business school will teach how we can really accelerate the substitution of human using technology. But then you say, then what about a lot of people were supposed to be out of work? No. So when the company survive and hopefully very quickly grow, and so they can have profit because they use a lot of labor force, and then it costs a lot of cost in that aspect too. But if they can also bring back these people that they used to employ and give them a special task, this group, since the government, since the company can make money, the company will then employ these people, and their job, the number one job, is to go and help those people who have just been retired from the company, usually of the underprivileged. Their assignment is to use human to help human, and then they can go out and help the underprivileged. They can go out and help find out what is needed by them. Maybe they just want somebody to talk to. Maybe they just want somebody to cut their hair. And this group of people will be paid very well by the company if the company is making money using machine. And this is my dream, and can happen from the business school perspective. And as long as they're willing to change the curriculum. Thank you very much, sir.
Okay, thank you so much. To sum it up, actually this pandemic accelerate the acceptance of human toward technology, and Mr. Aaron believed that implementations of more technology in the workplace will also help the human, the employee, to less work and then starting to help others human. So technology can be seen as positive in a positive light. Do not antagonize technology, and then after that uh, we actually reach the end of this webinar. But before we end this webinar, I still have to announce the lucky persons. We have 4 lucky persons that will get a small gift from Universitas Atmajaya Yogyakarta, and I will announce it now. So the first lucky person is Nur Habina from Utah. And then the second one is Pak Dwitya Ariwibawa from UAJY. And then the third one is Daniel Togu from Maranatha Christian University. And then the fourth one is Nur Tajali from Utah. Okay, I will repeat it once more. Nur Habina, Dwitya Ariwibawa, Daniel Togu, and Nur Tajali. We will contact you as soon as possible to talk about the gift and how will we send it. I will type it also in the chat box, and then we will send you the email also. So the contact will be based on the email. And then the last part, to close our webinar, we will have a closing remarks from the dean, my dean, our dean, from Dean of Faculty of Business and Economics, Mr. Budi Suprapto, Dr. Budi Suprapto. Good morning, Dr. Budi.
Good morning.
Okay, the time is yours.
Okay. Honorable speakers, respected guests, ladies and gentlemen, good mornings. So first at all, I will give our thousand thanks to the honorable speakers, Dr. Maestu, Dr. Pasli, and also Dr. Arons, yeah, for your time, your knowledge sharing, yeah, in today's seminar. That's very interesting and beneficial for us. Thanks also to the Nurul Atika, Yudi Kristanto, your sharing, yeah, I think give some idea for us. And also thanks to Pak Pupung, the Vice Rector for Student Affairs, that delivering our opening speech in today's seminar. Also Bu Nadia and Pak Tegar, yeah, that's organizing and moderating the webinar. That's very well and very smooth. And of course, the last not least, thanks to the participant, yeah, that give us our question and active contribution to the webinars. Ladies and gentlemen, that we know that in our discussion today, we can see any interesting and challenging idea, yeah, that open our mind, yeah, know about what's going on today, especially in the pandemic COVID-19 situations. we know there are some best practices and also maybe regulation from the government try to recover the situations. Actually, I want to emphasize that today webinar is one that strengthening our collaboration between Samsung University, UTM, University Technical Malaysia Melaka, and Atmajaya Yogyakarta. As we know that we have many programs done so far, exchange students. I think Atika and Yudi is one of the contributors, and also the lecturer exchange. And also there are some lecturer from Atmajaya also do further study in Samsung and UTM. I think Bu Rustiana here, right? Bu Rustiana, also Pak Dwitya, okay. So at that time, especially I would like to thanks to Samsung University and UTM that contribute much in developing our university, especially in Faculty of Business and Economics. So we hope that this is, of course, not last meeting. Yeah, we hope there are many many event. Yeah, we can dance with Dr. Pasli, with Dr. Arons, with Dr. Mahestu, Atika, Yudi, and so forth. I think for academic activity, maybe in terms of research, publications. Yeah, I have learned a lot from Dr. Pasli in publications. Still working one publication with Dr. Pasli, and hopefully maybe we can doing some joint publication and research together with Dr. Arons and also Dr. Mahestu. Okay, finally, we hope that we can meet maybe sometime in Thailand, in Malaysia, in Indonesia. Of course, after pandemic, yeah, hopefully pandemic soon, yeah, will finish, or at least we can meet in Zoom. Yeah, finally, thank you very much. Yeah, have a good weekend and God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Budi. Now we will move to the photo sessions. So please turn on your camera, all the participants, turn on your camera for 1 or 2 minutes because we will take the pictures of you because we want to see you face to face, to see your face also. So please turn on your camera and we will take the picture. Okay. Okay. Everyone's ready? Okay. Please count. Can someone help me to count the photo?
Okay. I will be starting to take the picture. Okay, please wait.
While waiting for the preparations of the photo sessions, please do not forget that you have to fill the exit form or the attendance form in the bit.ly link that we have gave to you in the chat box, please. And also make sure that you type your name correctly because we will use the data that generated from there to generate your certificate. And also if you need to put the academic titles of yours, just put it on your name in the exit form or the attendance form.
Okay, done. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Miss Henny. And then after that, we reach the end of this webinar. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a nice weekend and see you on the next occasions.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you very
Thank you,
much.
everyone. Terima kasih.
Thank you, Dr. Arons. Thank you, Dr. Pasli. Thanks.
Thank you everyone.
Thank you.
Nice
Take
to
care.
Thank you, Dr. Fazli.
Thank you.
Terima
Thank
kasih
you.
kepada
Thank you, Dr. Aaron, Dr. Fazli,
Yeah, thank you very
Dr.
much.
I have a
Thank
last
you.
word for Atmajaya. I miss
Yeah,
Atmajaya
Atika.
so much.
Oh yeah, thank you Atika and Yudi. Great
Atika and
presentation.
Yeah.
Yudi, very great presentation.
Thank you.
Masih kalau mute.
Terima kasih Pak Andreas Sukamto.